Hello, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about what most religious people perhaps miss, along with a lot of other people as well. What is it that we normally think about? You find yourself imagining. Is it something good, positive? Is it something which is filled with love and transcendence? Or is it something that is pretty mundane, attentive to matters and forms and structures that will be here today and gone tomorrow? Are we focusing on that which is really permanent in our lives, which is eternal, beyond the seen world? Or is it just focusing on that which is seen, that which is just temporal, non-lasting, unreal? The Bible says, according to the Apostle Paul in Romans chapter 8, that to set the mind on flesh is death, but to set the mind on spirit is life. Now, death, or flesh, meaning death, means that we're just focusing on that which is seen, the apparent, not that which is unseen, or the secret, or the transcendent. And it's just death. In the East, they call it following Maya, or just illusions through life. I once met a teacher in India, and I asked, what is it that we see when we open our eyes and look out into the world? And he responded, just death, just death. But the things of the Spirit, according to that teacher, and I think the Bible message at its essence, are things which bring life, transcendence, peace, a sense of everlasting, eternal existence. And that's who we really are in our deepest selves. We are spirit. God is spirit. God is love. That's not a particular form. Now, we may manifest that form by our attitudes and our thinking and our imaginations in our bodies, as the story of Jesus had Jesus portraying and living and dying. But the body is not the same as what we really are in our essence. As the Course in Miracles says so succinctly, I am not my body, I am free, for I am just as God created me, spirit and love eternal. So how do I live a life which is free then from all of mortality? Well, we have to become conscious of that. We have to understand it. I am in my retirement years now, and I feel quite secure. And the other day I was having lunch with another retiree, and he said, well, are you pretty financially secure? And I said, well, enough. And I said, in fact, if I get a little short, I may just do a reverse mortgage on my property. That's what all those Hollywood stars are telling us to do on TV commercials. He said, oh, I could never do that, because that means, well, when I die, I may have nothing left. Hello, I said, when we die, we will have nothing left, which is of material substance, which is of flesh, form, and structure. It's all gone, finished, fini. It's only spirit which is life. So the first step in experiencing it is to understand who we are. I am the eternal child of God as spirit. I'm not my body. I am spirit. I am free as God has made me. And with that in mind, then we can live as if we are displaying it by our actions and kindness to others. It means that we work to remain awake and aware of it. It's like when people, if they want to lose weight, Deepak Chopra, who's a spiritual teacher but also a medical doctor, said the fastest way to lose weight is to be conscious of what we're eating. So if we eat something which is just lots of sweets, or pasta, which change to sweets, we chew it and we feel the sweet, and we become conscious of it going into our stomachs and our whole systems, turning into glucose and extra sugar, which just deposits itself in rest in our stomachs and our waistlines, and we get fat. And just being conscious of that can help a person to become aware and to stop doing it. But most of the time we eat, we're pretty unconscious, aren't we? We just kind of, eat to be a social thing that we do. The same way with smoking. If a person, he says, wants to quit smoking, we become aware of each inhalation, the smoke and the tars filling our lungs and slowly shutting them down and constricting our blood vessels, and our heart works harder. And we become conscious of what it's doing to us. It's a faster way to say, well, I don't want to do that. But we forget. We forget so quickly. So we become aware we're not our bodies. And every day we can say, I am light. I am spirit. I am peace. I am forgiven. I am love to all the world. And I live that way. And we more likely will do that. We also can have those times of what I call transcendent meditation, where we just come into the now and focus on our breath. We breathe in and we breathe out. And we stay with that for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. Some people do it for an hour or more each day. They experience that out-of-time dimension, which is a part of eternity. It can be so rewarding, so relaxing to the mind and the body, enriching us to the spirit of life. And then sometimes, either in meditations or in acts of kindness, we can experience those truly unitive experiences, where, like Paul writes also in Romans 8, I believe, where we experience God as just not some out there entity that we don't understand, but it's like the closest intimate part of who we are. We cry, Abba, Father, Papa, Father. It's an intimate expression. It's almost like a sexual expression, a sexual oneness. When I was in ashram once, I asked the teacher, well, how do you know? How can I get into this experience of transcendence? And he said, get your sex into it. Get your passions into it. Get your emotions there. And you will know it when it overcomes you. You'll feel that bliss, that letting go, that oneness. Oh God, oh Papa, oh lover eternal, we are one. And you will have peace. Now, I must say a lot of religious people don't know this. The story goes that Jesus comes to a religious leader, or a religious leader comes to Jesus named Nicodemus. And he wanted to know how these things could be. And Jesus tried to explain to them, you have to be born again. You have to become aware of things on high outside of the ordinary. The man just couldn't understand it. And finally Jesus said, how can you be a teacher of Israel, a religious teacher, and not know these things? But sadly, many religious teachers do not know these things. They know the rules, they know the creeds, they know the form and structure that we must follow. But to follow spirit, to follow transcendence, why that's scary, that's frightening. It can be destructive. So I feel sorry for people like Nicodemus. Well, I worked in the church for many years before I understood that it was something beyond what I thought was my own specialness, either as being, oh, I'm born again and you're not, or I have the social action cause that's the true one that will save the world, until you come to the place where you realize it's not that kind of thrill. Those are just passing. But it's the thrill of knowing that I am loved forever. Oh, to set the mind on the things of flesh is death, but to set the mind on the things of spirit is life. Today, choose life over death, and be free, and be filled with love, be filled with rapture, be filled with peace. Namaste and peace.